Hey guys, welcome to the Van Conant Sessions 25th
Howdy.
25th podcast this week. We are going to be joined by my good friend and brother from the big town of Peck, Michigan, and we will talk about family and professional wrestling, quite a combination. Mr. The Real Deal Beals has got a lot to bring to the table, so we're looking forward to this conversation.
Absolutely.
And a little update for all you followers that are looking forward to this. We are almost halfway through the book. So once we get that done, we will be doing a podcast on Robin Williams, and boy, there's a lot to bring to the table there.
Oh yeah. I want to say probably. I mean, I'm not sure what you're gonna have for notes. I mean, we're not even halfway,
Yeah.
but I know you had a lot of notes for the Chris book, and that's shorter. So
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it down, and of course
compacted, right?
yeah, and I've got a lot of notes and I'm trying to obviously take these pieces.
Patrick, howdy, welcome in,
Hey,
man.
hey Pat, thanks for joining, man. We appreciate you. Uh,
Anthony as well. I see you watching, my friend.
awesome, cool. We appreciate you guys for sure. Yeah, so the Robin book, like I said, I'm going to continue. I've got the notes. I mean, I think I'm averaging about a page of notes for each chapter, and there's like 21 chapters. So that's probably going to be about the same as the Chris Farley, but we'll
Right
see.
on.
We'll see as we get there. So it's a lot. There's a lot more photos in this that I'm actually going to be photoing the photos so that we can share those. We'll screen share those when we do the podcast, so it'll be a little better this time and talk about it. Uh, what photos are there and there's good captions on each photo too, so I'll leave that in there so we can discuss that. It's going to be good.
Yes, it
uh
will.
in the meantime,
We
we
got some really good ones coming up.
yeah, next week is what's his name,
Forgot the
Joshua
order in which. Okay.
Josh
Joshua
Baker,
Baker.
Joshua Baker with Yeshua,
Yes, sir. He's a great guy. Excited to have him on. Very intelligent, and he's got a lot to bring to the table as well. So,
Yeah, absolutely. He did a nice video the other day. I absolutely agreed with it 100%. And then the 8th of March, we're going to do creation. Um,
yes.
whether we have a guest or not. The 15th, we've got Kevin Hartzman scheduled for more travel, movies, and acting. And I still have Kevin Maher from Macau, China, another
Heck yeah.
fellow Peck guy on the 22nd, which will be 10 a.m. our time because he is 13 hours ahead of us.
That'll be a fun one.
Yeah, and then Skitchfall. Uh, if for those of you who have not heard of the band, it is our good friend Dave Parsons' son. They have a band called Skitchball. They're going to be on. And in a sense, the cool thing about them right now is that they don't have their music copyrighted, which I told them you better get on it. But
Right.
we can actually play it live and or maybe they'll play live. Not sure if we can. What's up, brother?
Hey,
Hey, what's up?
How are you, man?
Doing good. How about yourselves?
Good, man. We
we're doing
appreciate your
good.
time. I
Thank you.
I hear a little raspy. You said you got caught up in some screaming match for a couple hours or something.
Yep, yep.
Oh boy.
Hey, when
Uh,
duty calls, right?
yeah.
That's it. I was filling in for a guy named Mark Roberts who was working Juggalo Championship Wrestling last night. So I had to
Oh,
fill in
very cool.
at his normal place. And it was kind of last minute, so I didn't get a chance to prepare my voice for it. And 2 hours of straight talking, especially when you're getting excitement going, just blows out your vocal cords, man.
Right, no doubt.
Oh, I can imagine.
I can hear it, but
I'm
thank you.
actually pretty familiar with JCW. I used to be a huge ICP fan and definitely watched a lot of their VHS tapes and stuff. Cool
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Yep, yep. I've actually had the pleasure to meet them both.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow, cool. Yeah, so we're going to get into all that, and like I said, we appreciate your time, Dan, for sure. And
Yes.
we were just going to start out with and tell everybody a little bit about our past. You and I grew up together in the big town of Peck, Michigan,
Yep, yep.
and I think it's pretty cool, Dan. If you look at, I never meant this podcast to be all about Peck, Michigan, but we're having a lot of people from Peck, and the diversity is pretty cool.
Yes.
Look at how everybody's people are in different states, different places, different countries. Matter of fact, we're supposed to have Kevin Maher on from China.
Yeah, yeah. What is he teaches? He teaches English or something over there, right?
That's what
Wow, that's
I think
so
so. I'm
cool.
pretty sure. Yeah, that's what I was told. We're gonna find out. You know,
Right? Yeah.
hopefully that all
Tune
still
in to
works out.
find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. Yeah, so I was going through some pictures, you know, from back in the day with I got a picture of you and I in the living room, which I was gonna share, but it's too blurry. My grandma took it, you know, and she probably wasn't,
Oh, darn grandma.
you know, but and then I was
She
gonna,
tried her darndest.
yeah, she had, and there was a lot of those pictures, you know. She was moving, so they're blurry. You can't really, I mean, you can tell, but they're just not good pictures. So,
Right, right. Man, you
Right.
know what? It's funny. I was just telling a couple of different stories about me and you as kids. One was about how your grandma made like the best shakes ever.
yeah, yeah,
And and the other one was I was telling my kids and I was telling them, don't ever do this. But when that dude was riding his bike from um from Oregon to Maine and he slept at the park and we were like, dude, can we hang out with you? And we hung out with him all night.
all right, yeah, that's man, I forgot about that. That's crazy. Yeah, some
Reminding you
crazy
of some
times.
stuff here.
Your old house there still looks the same pretty much too. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's funny is underneath where they put the garage at now. Because that garage is like 10 times bigger than the one my folks had.
Yeah,
Um, underneath there is a time capsule that me and my brother buried in like 90 or 84.
really.
Yeah. So someday they'll
Very
be digging
cool.
it up, man, and they'll find that stuff.
Cool. That
Makes
that
me wish I would have done something like that, that
could
I
be
guess it's never too late, right?
right.
There you go.
Could be interesting.
Yeah,
Like,
because I can't even remember what was in it. I think one of them was um a cassette, man. Can you imagine like 50, 100 years from now, them finding a cassette and being like, what is this? And it was a Van
Right.
Halen in 1984.
oh, nice.
So it had to be right in that. It had to be like, yeah, it had to be like 84.
Wow. Yeah, so
Very
we
cool.
were what, 10? I think we're pretty much the same age, or you might be a little
Yeah.
older. Yeah. Yeah. So when did you leave Peck?
Oh gosh. I'm left Peck in 96 to move to Bowling Green, Kentucky. I
Oh,
was I went down. It's funny. I just got like this urge to leave.
right.
Um, so
Hi,
at the
Christine.
time, yeah, at the time I was with this girl and but wasn't with her. And we decided to go down to Nashville and I told my parents, I'm like, I'm starting in Nashville and I'm working my way north and wherever feels good to stop, that's where I'm stopping. And I did it. I mean, I went down to Nashville, spent about a week down there. And then I started home. The road is 31W and I started up 31W and I got to Bowling Green and I was like, this is it. I don't know why. This is it. So I started looking for places. I got a hotel room, me and her. I started looking for places. I found a house. I found a guy to put a fence in the backyard. And down there, Brad, I mean, you're down south now. Everybody, it doesn't matter how clean you are. Everybody has roaches at first.
Right.
And this house was empty and it had been empty for about a month. So we walk in, the guy flips the light on, and the roaches are just boom, everywhere,
Whoa.
running for their life. So I went to the Orkin man and I was like, hey, I need you to come exterminate. I'm going to be gone for about a week and I want the place done by the time I get home. Um, so I hired him. He came in, did his thing. I hired the fence guy. They came and fenced the house. I hired a person to lay new flooring and paint. And I was like, dude, 2 weeks. That's what everybody has. Get in, get out. I want the house done when I come back. So
Right.
I come home, grab all my stuff from Peck. Um, and this was like middle of May, and we got this freak snowstorm, and it just started snowing like crazy. And I was like, perfect time to bolt. So
Right,
I,
no doubt.
we headed out, went back to Bowling Green. I ended up with working at a place. I don't know, maybe you remembered. I don't even know if it's around anymore. It was called the Wild Horse Saloon.
The Wild Horse Saloon.
Yeah, it used to actually be on TV on CMT, but what they showed you was not the bar I worked at.
Oh,
After
really?
at 9 o'clock at night, that was a whole different place.
Oh, I bet.
And the bouncer that taught me how to bounce was 6'8" and 350. This dude was
There.
a monster.
Oh, no
Um,
doubt.
remind me of the guy who used to sell the class rings at the school. Remember that big dude that played for the Detroit Lions?
Oh, no, but speaking of that, I do have a story from Marlette because when I went to Marlette, when I was gone for that brief period, a couple of years,
Hmm.
there was a guy there selling class rings, and he had refrigerator Perry's ring, and it was a size 23.
Yes.
It would fit on my thumb.
Hmm.
That's crazy. Anyways, not to interrupt you there, but
No, no. But um, so he taught me all this stuff. I did that for a minute, and my dad, he bounced when he was younger, and he was like, breaking heads ain't no way to make a living. You know.
right,
So it wasn't. That bar was tough, man. And after a bit, I was like, nah, this ain't worth it because I just didn't want to do that kind of thing. So I started working. I left there, and I worked at Walmart for ever. And finally, I was just like, nope, this ain't it either. So I
right.
came back to Michigan. By that time, my parents had moved out and moved into Port Huron.
Oh, okay.
So I came back to Port Huron, lived in Port Huron for a little bit, and was like, nah, this ain't the place for me. So I went home. I went back up to Peck. And that's when I moved in with TC.
Oh, okay. All
With
right.
Tom
Yeah,
Calvin.
I've been
yeah, Tommy Caliper.
I've been talking with
Um,
him frequently, actually. Yeah.
and
Cool
yeah,
guy.
it was cool. He moved out. I took over like his place for a minute. Then he moved back. Some stuff went bad. I'm not even gonna go into that.
Right.
Um, and so I moved back out of Peck. I had just met well, she ended up being my first wife. Um, and actually when I met her, I was going to law school. I was going to school to become a corporate attorney.
Oh, really?
And she got pregnant and it was time to go to work. So um, her and I went for a while and then we got divorced and I ended up being the parent to all three of my kids, all by myself. It's a sad situation. It was a situation of two people who started off in addiction together,
Uh,
um, and then one who left that behind, and one who couldn't. You know,
right.
Right.
and like I told my kids, they were one day she just was like, I don't want to be a wife and a mom anymore, and she split.
Uh,
Um, and she, I'm not gonna go into the whole story because it doesn't paint her in a good picture, but fast forward, I told my kids, I was like, she did what she could for you, which was leave you with me, and just leave your life.
right.
They at a young age, kids don't understand that that's love too.
Sometimes it has to be that way for the better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, she ended up getting murdered in East St. Louis, Missouri, a few years ago.
Oh,
But
wow.
before
Jesus.
that, I met my wife now. And I was cool with being alone. You know, uh, um, Sometimes when things get really, really bad in a relationship, you're like, no, I'm good. I'm good forever.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
so we kind of accidentally found each other on the internet of all places, and everybody's like,
Right.
oh, it's not gonna last, and it shouldn't. I mean, statistically, it doesn't last.
Right.
Um, December we hit 17 years.
Oh,
So,
wow.
you
Congratulations.
know,
Wow.
um,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
But she led me in a whole different direction. When she first met me, um, you couldn't, she was going to church, stuff like that. I wouldn't even let you talk about God in my presence. If you did, I was going to punch you in the mouth. Um,
Right.
and um,
And now
Yeah,
look
I
at your
made fun
shirt,
of. Yeah, exactly.
like your shirt too.
Eh,
And,
bruh.
I made fun of her for going to church. I made fun of, I talked, I was like, oh, Christians, this, that. And she just was patient, she just was patient. And her and her grandma started praying for me. And I found out, I didn't know at the time what an intercessor was. I know now. you know,
Right.
um, but it just kind of, it just kind of one day made sense, and I was like, this is it. I got to leave all that garbage behind, man.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
all the anger, all the hate, because that's all it
Right.
was hate and anger.
Yeah,
Few people know me like and know who that guy was.
right.
Um, I think you and Andy Lacy are probably the only ones who I talk to on a regular basis that remember that guy.
Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
and I've told my wife some of the stories, and she's like, "No way, that's not you. That wasn't even you when I met you." I was like, "Oh, trust me, that was me."
Weird. Oh, that's funny. I did have another picture I was going to dig up and then I forgot, but it's just you sitting at the table there when TC and them lived on the corner of Lorraine there,
Yeah.
sitting in the kitchen flipping the camera off. It's pretty funny, but so
There's
you
one float. There's two of them floating around. One of them is when um as I usually did, I got into the Jack Daniels.
yeah.
And you guys, I passed out on the couch, and you guys stuck a teddy bear in my in my arm,
You know what?
and then snapped the picture. And the other one is um,
I don't think
all I know is there was mustard and ketchup involved.
oh boy. I don't Oh, sounds like a good one. I don't remember the teddy bear thing, but so you ended up when did you end up in Port Huron?
Oh gosh, that would have been 90, 98. I was down in Kentucky for 2 years,
Okay.
or almost 2 years.
And then
Yeah.
so obviously we're going to share some pictures that you sent me and then go over
Mhm.
that stuff. And so you is that when you got into the wrestling thing there or were you in that prior?
No, you know what? I got into that. Oh gosh, I'm going on. I think next month is 14 years.
Okay, so it was a while
Oh,
later
bro.
then.
Yeah, it was quite a while later on.
Okay.
I just up until I met my wife, I mean, I just walked around doing not much,
Yeah, right.
Um, I lived at the bottom of a bottle for a long
Yep.
time. Um,
Heard.
and it was when I met my wife, I showed up at her house for the first time. She's from Jackson.
Okay.
So me and Brian Bauer, we drive all the way from here to Jackson, and I show up at her house. I got 2 cases of beer and a fifth of whiskey, and that's how we're gonna start the weekend. And this
Oh,
crazy woman let me in her house.
oh, nice.
Like I said, man, she never judged me. She just was like, "Yeah, he is who he is," and eventually that'll just work itself out.
Right on, cool. You know, the
That is
speaking of
awesome.
Jack Daniels is funny though, because I I was just recalling this story the other day. Um, and it was a Jack Daniels story. If you remember, you and I, we went through 1/5. We were just hammered down. I think we were actually at Mike Smith's apartment there in the Red Fox in the Fox building.
Oh yeah.
And we ended up getting, so we ran through one bottle, and then I think it was my Uncle Bob Hewitt. We had him go into the Pepsi store there and get us another one.
Yep.
Well, I didn't quite get through that one before I ended up down in the park underneath the pine trees and woke up at 3 in the morning. But
I think I crashed out there that night.
I think, yeah, it was a little cloudy, but anyways, yeah, good times.
Uh,
Yeah, so your house there is that in Peck, the old house is that sold? That's not in the family anymore.
no, no. Actually, what happened was I bought it from my dad. Um, before I even graduated. It
Oh,
was the
okay,
year. It was like 92. I bought it from my dad because they wanted to move into the apartment because he just couldn't keep it up anymore. His health was really starting to get bad at that time.
right.
And um, I put, man, you know what? Here's how stupid youth is. Okay, I put 3 grand down in this house, and my parents were like, okay, we're gonna move out. We're gonna move out in like 6 months. All right, cool. Um, and they only charged me 20 grand for the house.
Wow.
Yeah. So, like I said, um, I'm going along, and right about that time is when I started really, really heavy drinking. Um, and I was like, man, you know what? I don't want to work. I like I
Right.
like partying, I don't want to go to work.
Right.
That sucks. Because the choice was the pickle factory
You did that.
or or at that time, J&K Manufacturing. I didn't want to do either one of them. I didn't want to build no horse trailers, and I
Right.
definitely didn't want to work at the pickle factory. So I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't know if I want to buy the house anymore. Um, so Rob and Michelle ended up actually buying it from my folks.
Ah, really? Okay.
And I got my money back, drank that away quick.
Jeez.
It's amazing, bro. Well, I mean, you were there with, man. Sometimes what you wouldn't do to go back, but honestly, would I want to go back? But man, I drank through almost 50 grand in less than a year.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, sorry, guys. Anthony Spade says, "We've all been there, sir. Wasn't fun though. We have crawled out, overcame them days, and we're better humans now."
Yeah.
amen.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen.
Amen.
Absolutely. So those days, Dan, I had, well, we'd kind of finished up high school or whatever. It was that time, middle of 92, August, I guess, and later 92, I turned 18. Of course, I got myself in a little trouble, end up in jail. We actually had a podcast about our criminal history this past week. And, but after that, I disappeared, and then that's when I got with Brett's mom, and so I was in Marlette. I kind of disappeared from
Yeah.
Peck, and then I'd come back here and there, and visit or whatever. But yep, yeah,
No, you know what? And honestly, Brad, I think that at that time, that was probably the best thing you could have done for you, man.
right, yeah, it
It
was,
was get out of Peck.
yeah,
We weren't doing good there. I mean,
no,
we just weren't.
no,
Um,
I
that's another story I was telling, man, about when we were still in high school. People were talking about driving fast. I was like, you don't know fast.
right, I already know
And
where
I was
you're
telling them,
going.
they called me a liar. So you will have video proof of this, that I made it from Peck to 46 and 53 in 20 minutes.
Yeah, you did because we were doing like 130. Uh, that was like, wasn't that a Buick Regal, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy
And it was a
crap.
last minute that
Hauling ass, man.
I'm talking
it
about,
was
yeah.
last minute that Tammy decided or her mom decided she could go like last minute, and we were trying to get there and get back before the dance started, and everybody's like, "You guys will never make it after you watch."
Right. I'll tell you, because we went over, I'm pretty sure we went down Germania Road in that hill.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I thought we were going to get air off from that hill. That's doing
Yep.
130 miles an hour, dude. Holy, that car was maxed out. I remember
Oh yeah.
it had the newer, at that time, newer like digital speedometer or whatever. It was
Yep.
wild for us. But I think you ended up burning the tranny out of that thing, didn't you?
No, you know what? Kenny Davison smashed it.
Oh, really?
Because
Bad.
I remember everybody used to borrow my cars.
Yeah.
And every time he'd borrow, he'd come back and be like, dude, I'm sorry I smashed your car. And he'd come back and he's like, I'm at Danielle and Anita's house. And he comes in and he was like, you're gonna kill me. I was like, Ken, shut up. I'm not in the mood. He was like, no, dude, I wrecked your car. I was like, no, shut up, man. Just give me my keys. And he's like, dude, you got to come outside. He's like,
Oh,
but promise
crap.
me. He's like, promise me you won't put your hands on me.
Oh,
I still didn't believe him until I walked outside and the whole front clip was gone. He smacked the deer with it.
oh, snap. Well,
So yeah, I ended up trading it in for the Dodge Ram.
okay. So I was going to go back to, you had the Ford Ranger. Remember that with a system in it?
Oh man, I loved that
That thing
Ranger.
was sweet, dude. I
That
mean,
and
the
my
stereo system was
I
sweet.
could tell by the look on his face that you hit a real sweet spot there on that memory.
oh
He's like,
yeah,
yes, I
oh,
remember
Well,
that.
speaking of memories, 'cause you used to, matter of fact, you'd let me take your truck and go pick stuff up, or lotto tickets or beer or whatever, you know. And so speaking of Ken Davison, him and I, we borrowed your truck and we are going out to my house on Arden Road for me to get something or whatever. And so he had a joint at the time, you know. So we're we're driving down Sheridan Line, you know, and smoking this joint, man. And we're just driving along. Next thing you know, obviously we're stoned. We look over at each other and start rolling, dude. I'm crying, laughing so hard I can't hardly drive because we're not even laughing. There's nothing to laugh about. We're just stoned.
Exactly.
Made it back. I mean, it was funny, but that truck was cool and the stereo system rocked. I think you had a couple tens or 12s in the back.
yeah. There was two 12s in the back, and there was a punch 150 running both of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
That thing was so loud. At Jones's, man, Jones's Sound Shop
Oh,
Oh
really?
yeah,
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
there quite a few times.
set
And
me up. Um
Too bad we don't have pictures of that. I do have a picture of your, if you remember, you had
Fiero.
the Fiero, yeah, with
Yep.
Squirrel flipping us off, and I was sitting in it too. But
Yep. That thing, dude. You know what? And it's funny because there's so many stories that nobody believes about the time we put 7 people in that Fiero and
right,
drove it from the park down to TC's.
no, that's funny, man. Asking for it. So we've got. Let's do some screen sharing, Dan, and we'll run through some pictures.
All right.
See if I can't fumble this up. So I
knock
think
on wood.
right. I think most of what we have here is mostly wrestling pictures. Let's see,
Yeah.
and I can just have you run through that. Do you see that? All right.
Yep.
So I'll just let let everyone know who you're with or what was going on that day.
Yeah, that's Tom Bailey.
Uh,
He he he's a good kid. Young kid.
I'm gonna say he looks young.
But he's got it figured out. He was a collegiate wrestler, um, who decided to become, a pro wrestler, and now he's making his way towards the bigs.
Really.
And the kid will do it. Very humble kid. Um, just a great kid. I've had the pleasure of knowing him since his very first match. Actually,
Oh,
before
that's
his
cool.
match. So yeah, it's been
You
cool
get to
watching
watch
him
him
grow up.
grow, and yeah,
That's
that's
it.
cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool. All right. Here's the next one in the series. Who are these guys?
The big one is he's called Chico Amante. He is from up north.
Okay.
And Chaos, of course, that's my home company.
Okay.
And the little guy, listen, he ain't gonna watch this, so I can say it. That's my son. That's my
Okay.
youngest.
Okay. I was
Ah,
And
wondering.
he's
cool.
yeah, and he's Chico Nino.
Chico Nino.
Chico
Chico
Nino.
Nino.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's cool. You got your kids. Well, yeah, and we're talking about family. So if you want to tell everybody about your kids and their ages and
Well,
stuff.
that's it. I mean, with the younger two, Connor, I think you got pictures of him in there somewhere.
Yep. Okay. So
Um,
here's one you wanted to talk about.
yeah, that's down here at the Citadel, enter stage right. Um, it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that played. Jason wanted to go, and it was one of those where I was like, man, I don't want to go,
Right.
but you
Right.
go
Yeah.
because that's the dad thing to do. But man,
Yo,
that was one of the funniest plays I've ever seen. I loved it
Oh,
because
that's
cool.
awesome.
listen, who knew
It's
that?
cool when it turns out that way, you know?
Well, it is, but you know what I'm finding out being a dad is a lot of things that I never thought I would enjoy. I really
You
do, like the
do.
theater. I take my daughters, and they're 19 and 23 now. I've taken them to the Nutcracker Ballet every year since my older daughter was 7.
Very cool.
Who'd have thought that a dude like me was going to enjoy ballet?
Right, right.
Right. So here's another one that you had sent me. obviously in talking about family and stuff, another deal you went to.
Yeah, this is the band We Are Messenger.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yep, they did a Celtic Christmas concert. Oh man, it was sweet. It really was.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, that looks cool.
If you like Celtic music, I mean,
Yeah.
some people don't. I like all kinds of music. I can get into most of it.
Well,
Yeah,
at the
I
Van Cohen
agree
sessions, it's all things life and music.
That
that it
that's it,
is.
man.
Mhm.
So now this is your oldest guy, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's a referee.
So yeah,
And
Right.
that's awesome.
yeah, he's the one. He's the one that kind of. I mean, I've always been into wrestling since I was little.
Yeah, unfortunately, our buddy Troy has got a belt because we made or you guys made a makeshift belt
Yeah,
from high school. Yeah.
yeah. But he told me he wanted to be a wrestler. Um,
So this is
so
your oldest and your youngest boy here,
well, these are my two youngest boys.
or two youngest? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I have a son. His name is Brendan. He is 26.
Okay.
Um, I have my daughter, because we have a hers, mine, and ours, but we don't have steps in my family.
Right.
We're family.
Right
Absolutely.
on.
So my son Brendan, he's the oldest. Then there's Anastasia, she's the oldest girl. Um, and her and my daughter Aaliyah, um, are the same age, only a couple months apart.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, they're 23. Then there's my other son Seth, who he's 19. My daughter Abby, who's 19. Um, and then there's Connor, who he'll be 18 in May, and then Jason, who's 9. He just turned 9 in November.
So Connor,
So
the biggest one here, right, is Connor, and
yeah,
he's the
yeah,
he's the ref, right? He's doing the refing and the
yep,
wrestling.
yep.
Yeah. Very
Awesome.
cool.
And then with him is um Eric Smalls, um
Okay.
the half pint punk. He wrestles for NWA.
Okay.
Oh, super cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. We've known Punk since he was oh gosh, since I started in the business. So 14 years.
Oh
He
wow.
wrestled for Hulk Hogan's micro brawlers that used to be on
Oh really?
MTV.
Nice.
Yep.
That's so cool.
Nice.
Micro brawlers.
Let's see, what do we at? I know we've got a few more here. So you just recently sent me this one. You had a fan actually draw you a picture. I thought was pretty dang cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really cool.
That's good,
um
man.
he was a fan. Now he works in he actually works with a group called Four Kings, who they do video, like recording, editing, getting your stuff ready for TV. And he did that for me, and it was absolutely amazing. He's done some of just about everybody who works in wrestling in the state. We make the comment and the joke about you haven't made it until Paul does your picture. Um,
Oh, really cool.
so I mean, but it's awesome because it's humbling, that
Yeah,
someone would take the time
Right.
to draw you, that you've made an impact somewhere along the way that makes their heart say, "Hey, I need to draw a picture of this person and give it to them."
Yeah, that's
that is cool.
that's good, man, right there. 'Cause I couldn't
Yeah,
do
it
that.
is.
I couldn't even come close to doing that.
No,
Uh,
me neither.
uh,
That's some Phil stuff.
all right. So there's
Um,
is that your younger one
Yep,
there?
yep.
The
That's
close.
Nino.
Okay, Nino, little close up there. All right. Let's see what's next here.
Patrick Heffron says Matt Parsons once jumped an 18-wheeler over three bridges party spot.
Dude, that don't surprise me.
Right on. Uh,
That don't surprise me. No, what's Three Bridges though? I have no idea where that place
yeah,
is or
right.
what it
That's fun. Let's see. So now we're going to get into, I think we've got another 6 pictures, and these are all different wrestlers, I do believe. Um, but you'll explain, obviously.
Yeah, that's Nunzio.
Nunzio.
Um, Nunzio. The story with Nunzio is Nunzio was in the WWE. Um, he
Okay.
was the light when they had the light heavyweight or the light championship, the light heavyweight championship, and he was a light heavyweight champion. And some girl accused him of misconduct.
Uh,
So WWE fired him like on the spot. Boom, done.
really?
Come to find out, she lied about the whole thing. He proved it in court. Um,
Wow.
and he still got their belt because he refused to give it back. And it would have cost him so much in court to to take him to court and have WWE lawyers come in. It just was one of those things where, yeah, you might have better lawyers, but they're going to cost you more than mine do. So they
Right.
just were like, never mind, keep it. So he travels
That's
around with
cool.
it as a story of, hey, I didn't do anything wrong. You guys jumped the gun. You did the wrong thing, and you wouldn't make it right. So
That's a shame.
Right.
There's so much of that people try to latch on to stars,
yeah,
quote unquote, or whatever,
and his happened right at the Me Too movement. And
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
he unfortunately, I mean, listen, let's be honest, all right? A lot of those were real, and it needs to be
Right.
Right.
taken
Yeah.
seriously. But
Absolutely.
a lot of people got caught up in the untruth of it too.
Yeah.
True. I completely agree with that.
And next up was this scary guy.
Yeah. That is the soul taker.
It
He
looks
is
about right. It looks the
he
part.
he he is the Black Undertaker.
Okay.
Right now, he is going by he's going by the name. He remember when the Undertaker kind of switched his gimmick to the American Badass,
I don't
and he
really.
come out as he come out as a biker guy.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
remember that.
Okay.
Okay, so Soul Taker decides it's time for him to change. So now the Soul Taker is the American Black Ass.
Nice.
That's
Um,
That's
that's
funny.
cool. Yeah.
he's known by other names down south that he gave himself, but I will not repeat that word
Oh, right, right.
because we'll get us all canceled.
Gotta be careful of that, right?
Yeah.
Matthew Parsons says that one's a little fuzzy, Pat. If it had really happened, I'd truly be a legend. Just thought
Right.
you guys might want to hear that one since you can't see the comments, but
All right. That's funny. Who's this guy, Danny?
Trey Miguel.
Trey.
Yeah, he's part of the Rascals. Well, he was part of the Rascals. He works for TNA Wrestling. I've been fortunate enough to know Trey for quite a few years now. Just a great kid, great Gary kid. Had a
Okay.
chance to go to WWE and said no.
oh
Oh,
wow,
really?
Too
So,
much traveling. I want to be with my family.
understandable.
yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt. Okay.
I can admire that.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
when I first started out, me and my buddy Josh and my other buddy Cody, the ones who we did the podcast together, and it was, man, we did 3-4 shows a week on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. I was never home. I'm lucky that my wife didn't divorce me, honestly, um,
Right.
because it was every single week. In one year, we logged in over 60,000 miles that we traveled.
Wow. That'd be all right.
Wow.
But yeah, I could see. Well, you got a family though, for me that'd be all right. My kids are all grown, but it'd be tough, having
Yeah,
little
I
ones.
mean, my family sacrificed a lot for me to live my dream and to make the younger two's dreams become reality.
Right. Who's this guy? You know what he looks like? That senator that's always in the jogging suit.
You know who that is? That's
Uh,
D-Mac, baby. That's
oh,
Darren McCarty
okay.
from the Red Wings. Yep.
Oh, Franny probably knows who that is.
Yep, that's my
Uh,
boy. That's D-Mac.
okay. Uh, let's see. Couple more here. So this looks like some. Oh, you're doing some announcing at one of the shows, huh? Probably.
Yeah, this is our um the November show because I take December off. This last December I ended up doing a couple fill-ins, but usually I take December's off. That's family month. Um,
Right.
I
Right
take one
on.
month in the summer off and then the whole month of December because that's family time. I don't travel half as much as I used to, because I just don't want to. I'm 52 years old. Why do I want to travel all the time? My back hurts a lot, you know.
Right.
Right. Whatever the reason. Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
So, and we got here. Oh, this is another,
Yep, that's me and my buddy Cody, my partner. We're doing XICW. XICW is the longest running promotion in Michigan. 25 years old this year.
wow.
Ran
Wow.
by, ran by a man called the DBA. Um,
Oh, all right.
it's a great opportunity. You don't get any higher in Michigan than, well, you know what? I used to say that. Rhino from TNA WWE, he runs a company down in Monroe. It hasn't been around near as long as XICW, but those two are the top in the state. You don't get higher than them.
Oh, okay.
And
Heck
then
yeah.
this is my new partner, Josh Jonai, the guy with the bow tie.
Josh Jonah, the guy with the bow tie. Nice.
Yeah. Um, and
So,
this is that Chaos. This is my new partner at Chaos.
oh, okay. So
Very
yeah, that's
cool.
that's the last picture we've got there. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I was gonna also run by you, I think last time we talked, um, because we've changed the show I told you all about, we changed over to the Van Conant sessions. It was the Van Conant show, and I think
Yes.
whatever, we started over, and this is our 25th episode, but we had,
That's cool. Congratulations, man.
thank you. And so we
Heck yeah.
had
Thank
we had
you.
had you on before. Unfortunately, that one's gone. But anyways, this
It
one's here
got
to,
lost.
yeah, this one's here to stay. This one's here to stay. I just made a boo-boo. But anyways, you had mentioned in the previous time we had you on about, was it the Road Warriors? I think you may even have
Yeah.
you have some of his memorabilia or one of them. You
Yep. Yeah, I got the opportunity after Hawk died to meet Animal and to be his driver. So I drove him from Port Huron down to a hotel right by the airport in Romulus, at Metro.
okay?
Um, man, that was one of the greatest. Just sitting and talking to someone who you looked up to as a kid, who you always wanted to meet as a kid. Um, that this the business has gave me the opportunity to live so many dreams. It's I've got to meet, I got to meet and talk to him. Um, Guys like Buff Bagwell. Buff actually, my wife wanted to come, and our youngest was sick. He was just a baby, and he was sick, so uh, she decided to stay with him. And Buff Bagwell was like, "Give me your phone." So he took my phone, and he sent her this promo video of just him, talking to her like he knew her for years. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it was really, it's been crazy. Some of the people I've met, some of the people that
So the
I just know across, over the
right.
years.
So the Road Warrior guy, I think you had told me you took him to the airport or something, and he lost one of his spikes or something in your car. I think you
Yeah.
still have that or something.
Yep. I still have the spike from Animal shoulder pads.
Animal, that's the one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, those were the ones, when we were younger, man, obviously, I loved Hulk Hogan, all them stars back then, Andre the Giant, um, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, all them guys from back then, you know. Unfortunately, we just lost the Hulk, man, and that was kind of a shocker.
Yeah.
He
Yeah. That
seemed
was
he seemed to be in pretty good shape health wise, but the old ticker gave out on him, I guess.
well. Yeah. That's it. I mean, you put your body through that kind of stuff, for that long, and eventually something's got to give.
Yeah, because a lot of
Right.
them, I think, wasn't it Macho Man? And he died young too, didn't he?
Yep.
Young,
Heart
but
attack.
younger.
A
He
lot of
was
them
only,
have heart attacks.
yeah. I think a lot of them probably did steroids and stuff too.
Yeah, unfortunately, and I don't know that they ever proved it 100%. But Hogan got locked up in that whole thing when the government went after Vince McMahon for
Oh, right.
steroid use, and he got right in the middle of that, and it. I don't know how it really. I think it just kind of went away,
Right on.
as things
Right.
sometimes do. because it
Yep.
never really
Anthony
came up.
Spade says, "Thanks for sharing with us, Dan. God bless you."
Oh, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning in, man, as always.
Absolutely.
Um, any other specific anything coming up that you want to share and let anybody know about that if they're interested, they can check it out or
Yeah, I
follow?
mean, we got Chaos is in Port Huron, at the American Legion down on 7th Street. I'm sorry, it's 6th Street. Um, the 7th of March. So what is that, 2 weeks away?
Okay. Yeah.
Um, it's family friendly. That's the good part about it. Um,
World needs a
it's
bunch more of that these days.
well,
Mhm.
that's it.
Yeah,
We try
right.
and keep it family friendly, family affordable. Um, it cost you for a family of four about $80 plus food. Um, you can't even go out, you know, you can't even go to a ball game anymore for $80.
Oh, geez, you go out to,
Right.
I take, we might take a friend out once in a while to eat, and there's $100 bill gone if you're gonna,
Well, that's it right there.
so,
Yeah. So we try and keep it, where, because here's the thing, and I'm not gonna get uber political, because nobody cares about our political beliefs. But,
no,
um,
I
it,
gave up on that.
well, here's
Mhm.
the thing. I live in an area where, um, I'm just gonna be honest here. Addiction is championed.
Really?
Yeah.
Um, and family values and things for families to do are few and far between. Um,
Yeah, that's no
you
good.
know, they, um, nothing against the people who do it because I was down that road, and man, I hope
Right.
that every single person, that is in it and feels lost and it finds their way out.
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
we needed to give this area something that mom and dad and grandma and kids could go to, and that's our goal is, that, hey, you can bring grandma to it and you can bring your 5-year-old to it and they're all going to be entertained just as well. Um, we're PG bordering. Sometimes we don't get more than
Mhm.
PG-13.
Okay.
Um, but it's just trying to keep it family friendly, and affordable. That's the big one. Affordable, especially
Right.
in today's world.
Yeah,
Um,
Absolutely.
that's a good thing for sure.
and
Yeah.
and it's working. We're averaging 300 per show. So I
Okay.
mean, for this
Wow.
area, that's not too bad. Yeah.
No,
Um,
not at all.
So that's a pretty good sized venue then you have to be able to squeeze 300 people in there, huh?
yeah, yeah. The last two shows we were standing room only.
Okay.
We had, uh, the the building, according to the fire marshal, we can have 375.
Okay.
Um, I think we were kind of pushing that the show, not the last show, the show before, we were really pushing that number. Um, but yeah, there was, we sold out all the seats and then we went standing room only. So it's
Mm.
a good problem to have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely. Sounds good. Yeah, so once again, like I said, well, we still got a little bit of time. I try to keep it to about an hour, but we
Mhm.
appreciate your time and yeah, attention spans
Absolutely.
are about that long these days, so
That's it. That's it.
we don't try to go beyond an hour, but we're
No.
pretty fortunate though, Dan. We got some really cool people joining us and coming
Yeah.
back. It's really cool. So thankful for that for sure.
Oh,
And
absolutely. And that's it. Um,
it's
it's
not,
hard.
yeah, and it's not for everyone, and it's time consuming, but podcasting it's obviously a big thing these days. I mean, I wish I could have got into it longer ago, 10,
Mhm.
20 years ago when it was newer, but here we are still giving a go at it because I think it's cool. Um,
And that's
For
it. Then
sure.
it's funny. Because I did it for a while. We did 2 shows a week. Um, and that race to 1,000. Anybody who's podcasting, especially on YouTube,
yeah,
what that race to
Right.
1,000 is and what it means when you hit there. And it's hard. It
right.
is.
Yeah,
It's
it's very
hard.
hard. Mhm.
Yeah,
Um, You put
definitely.
yourself out there,
Yeah.
people can say
Yeah.
whatever they want about you once you make yourself public,
Yeah.
and they're going to talk,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
the good thing is though, is that anytime they're talking, that's good.
Yep.
It
Yeah.
don't matter, let it,
Good
if
or
they want
bad,
to
it's
talk,
publicity.
that's
Yeah.
it. As long as your name is coming out of their mouth, it's public. And
Yep.
people are going to hear about it. And some people even check you out because they want to trash on you too. And then they might find out, hey, I like what they're doing. This guy don't know what
Right.
he's talking about.
Right.
Thick-skinned is how you got to be with it for sure.
Yeah. And
Patrick Heffron says maybe he knows about bikini jello wrestling. Never mind. Best Peck memory.
huh, not sure about that one, but I was just going to say, Dan, is that what we want to do here is obviously all things life and music, but first and foremost, we want truth here. That's it. Don't need
There
to
Yep.
you go.
don't need to sugarcoat anything. We're just talking about everything, all things life and music, man. And
Right. And that's it. Once you figure out in your life that not everybody is gonna like you,
Yep.
and you're not gonna like everybody,
yeah,
life gets easy because now I can just be me. And if you
Yeah.
don't like me, hey,
That
that's
part.
okay. I'm not mad at you because you don't like me. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea,
yeah.
Yep.
and that's okay because there's people who I don't care for either.
But we can
There's
all still be civil to each other.
Well,
That's
that's it. Just
you know,
let it
Yep.
be. Live your life how you're
Let
going to
it
live it.
be. Let it
It,
be.
that's it right there.
yeah,
Um,
Yep.
Unless you directly affect me and mine, man, do
Right.
your thing. Do your thing.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely. And if you don't like certain things, scroll past it. I mean, I get it because we try to promote ourselves, and people get sick of seeing it. So you can unfollow or don't look at it, whatever. I get it, but that's what you got to do if you want to be seen. So it's becomes
Yep.
repetitive. It's the only way to do it.
no, that's it.
It's cool to be able to have a
Um,
platform, actually right now, but it does it. We're slowly growing, but it takes time. So
It does. It takes a long time.
yeah,
I can't remember the guy's name, but the one who did that Ordinary song, is it Warren or something like that? Who did we did the podcast, Pop's talking about, how he did that Ordinary song and had 400,000 hits on TikTok, and his record company was like, no, we're basically gonna, scrap it. And he's like, how, with all these views, and like he just kept going with it and going with it, and then eventually it's a worldwide hit now. It's
Yeah.
consistency. If you
yeah,
believe in yourself, keep doing it. That's the biggest part.
Well, that's it. I tell people now, coming from me, I can only speak for me. That's the first thing. I can only ever speak for
Right.
myself. Um, but when I started working as hard to be a good person as I did at being a bad person,
yeah.
life changed.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
It makes every day better for sure. No doubt
It
about it.
does because, man, um, look at the things and think about the things that you did to ruin your life.
Right.
I ain't got enough hands to count on. Yeah. Oh,
That's it. I mean, um, it's the comeback story though. That's
Yeah,
it. It's the
that
comeback
part.
story. Um, and that's life. That's how it works, man. Is as long as you're still breathing, you have a chance to make a difference and be
absolutely.
different.
Yes, sir.
And that's me, look at it took me till I was 50 to come out of my shell, quote unquote, because I would have never sat in front of a camera and a microphone and spoke to the world. I mean, I'm not doing
Yeah.
it in front of a million people, but I ain't scared to do that now. And it took me a lot. I don't know what even happened, but it just kind of clicked. And I've had a few people that kind of put me up on a pedestal, said, dude, you can do this, man, do it. And I wanted to do it. So, and our good friend Gary, he's the one that got me
Yeah.
started. He was like, let's do a podcast. So that didn't work out, but he's still a brother. We're still brothers. It's all good. But
Hmm.
I was determined to do this and I'm not giving up. So ultimately, here we are with me and my son, and it's cool. We enjoy it. So,
For sure.
But see, and that's it. You get to do something with your son. And that's where I'm at. Is I tell people, listen, I could be done today. You know, um, I could walk away today because I've got to watch my both my sons not only live their dream, but do it at the same time in the same ring in the same match. Man, how does it get better than that? And then I tell
Yeah.
them,
Right.
listen, my the the goal as a parent is my ceiling needs to be my kid's floor.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, I want them to
Absolutely.
stand so much higher than what I ever could do.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
and that's what I told Connor, when he started with the refereeing stuff. I told him, I said, okay, you told me when you were 6 years old, this is what you wanted to do. You're here. What you do with it now is up to you.
Is right.
Yeah.
I've taken you as far as I can take you. Now the rest is yours. Um, and now it's time to start working, for little brother, and try and
Yeah.
um, get him there. Um, so, but that's what it's about. We spend so much of our time trying to figure out, oh, what's life? What's the meaning of life? What's life about?
Yeah.
Right.
Life's about
Absolutely.
raising other people higher than you. That's what it's about. You
Yeah.
know, um, leaving the legacy that your kids can be proud of, that you can be proud of.
Be selfless.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the meaning of life
Absolutely.
is raise others above yourself.
Yes.
It's a good
And once
thing to
you,
do. Absolutely. Great.
it, it
Great.
is like I said. I spent 20 plus years tearing myself down, tearing other people down, tearing people down for fun. You know,
Right.
um, Man, in school, I remember telling somebody one time, my day isn't made until I ruin somebody else's. And if they cry, even better.
Right.
Well, what a horrible thing to say, you
Right.
know? And I can make excuses all day long. I can say, well, it's because of the way that the people treated me and the way they did this. And, I remember when I was little, being picked on because I was too scrawny. Well, then I hit this point where I became the fat kid and people made fun of me for that. And it was like,
Right.
you know, but those are excuses.
Right.
They still
Yeah.
don't give you a right to treat people a certain way. And I've tried to talk to a lot of those people, and apologize. Some people I didn't
Yeah.
even realize that I'd hurt, Um, one of the good ones was Joe Confer. You remember Joe Confer, Brad?
I do. Unfortunately, and looking him up, yeah, he passed away from cancer
Yeah, quite a few years
a
ago.
decade ago or something. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I ended up when I went to Baker, I ended up working with him, and he was actually my boss
Oh,
when I
really?
first went there. And you know, he was when I saw him, I was like, dude, before we even say anything, let me tell you I'm sorry. I was like, because everybody picked on the kid.
Oh, they did. Yeah.
And he ended up being a really good friend. And he was right away, boom, Dan, don't worry about it. It's good.
Right.
Thank you for apologizing. And he was the bigger person when he didn't have to be. He could have made my life miserable, you know. But
Yep.
but like I said, I've tried to spend the last 15 years better, more than 15 years. Well, me and my wife been together 17 years. So the last 16 years, just trying to make it better, make me better, make the world a better place. Did I always get it right? No, no,
Absolutely.
not at
Right.
all. I mess it up a lot. I say
Definitely.
things, I say things that I shouldn't. Sometimes I had to learn. One of the big ones I had to learn was not everybody cares about your opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
so
speaking of that, that's just like my deal with Jay. I wrote a piece on him and read it. I'm doing my in my words thing now. Because it's stuff that I
yeah,
write.
dude, I love that, bro. Keep it going.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I did one today, actually, Family. It's called Family, and when if we get a chance to check it out, but they're all only about a minute long. I try to keep
Mhm.
so lengthy. Actually, I was writing and just sharing the writing before, where I want to read it now. But that's the point. Jay and I were never really friends. Growing up, kind of adversaries. And then, well, obviously, the whole story, but in time, we worked all through that and became brothers, and it's good, So unfortunately, we lost him now, but
Yeah.
here we are,
But that's it, and I wish I would have thought about this a long time ago, but man, we've lost so many.
I know it.
So many. It's too short, man. It's too short to carry a grudge.
Yeah,
It's too short to not apologize. And it's
Right.
never too late. You might think, oh man, that person probably doesn't even think about me, but I'm gonna tell you they do. They
yeah,
do. The damage and the pain that you caused, you don't even understand. And then sometimes all it takes is a message on Facebook. Most of us are on there. Hey,
Right.
you know what? This is what I did. And I'm sorry. It,
Accountability is a big thing.
yeah,
it is. And they might tell you screw off, but at least you
Right.
apologize. At least you tried to make it
Yep.
right.
yeah. That's all
Yep.
we can do. Well, Danny, we have basically hit our hour, man, and like I said, we appreciate your time.
Oh, it's been
Absolutely.
great, man. It's been great. I appreciate you guys bringing me on.
Yeah,
It's an honor.
definitely. So we'll have to keep up and then keep everybody updated on the things you're doing and stuff. So anytime you feel
And
like,
for the
yeah,
25th too. Even cooler. We had you on for the
Yes, man.
25th,
That
so
that that's
yep,
awesome.
it was cool. Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
So with that being
so
said,
are you coming up from Georgia? Are you down in Georgia right now?
yeah, we're down here until mid-May or so. We'll be back for the summer. Same.
Yeah, when
That's
you
what.
guys come back, man, hit me up. We'll have
Yeah,
to get together.
we'll have to see if we can do that, and
Uh-huh.
that'd be cool.
thank you, Eric. He said good show.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we appreciate it. All right, Danny, with that said, like we're going to let you go and look forward
All
to we'll
right,
be in
brother.
touch and I'll get you a copy of this because I'll edit it down, throw it up on YouTube, and then I'll send you a copy. So if you want to share it or whatever.
Thank you.
So,
Much appreciated.
yep. Thanks,
Have a
Dan.
great night, brother.
We'll talk to you
All
again
right, you
soon,
too,
man.
man. You guys have a great rest of your week.
You too, Dan.
You
Thanks
too.
again, man. We appreciate
Uh-huh.
it.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Later. The real deal, ladies and gentlemen. The
Danny
real
Beals.
deal.
Was that the toilet you just did? Oh, never
Was that the toilet?
mind. No, good show, man. Then we get talking. It's hard to cut it off, but
Oh yeah.
try to keep it at that hour. And like I said, thank you all for tuning in. Again, we're going to continue on, and we got some cool guests coming up.
Oh, we do.
And not trying to make this about Peck, Michigan. It just happens to work out that way. But we've got some different guests coming up. I'm going to just run these down again real quick. Next week is Joshua Baker. He's going to talk about Yeshua. Some of you may not care to hear about that, and that's fine.
Yes,
He's got
but
a
that is
positive,
okay.
yeah, he's got a very positive message though. If you look him up on Facebook,
Absolutely.
and there's
Yes,
not
and Warrior from Within Training Center.
okay. Um, and then the 8th, like I said, March 8th, we're going to do our podcast on creation based off from Ken Ham's book, The Lie.
Yes, the lie.
The 15th, a buddy of ours, he's actually from Marlette, Kevin Hartzman. He's an actor. He travels around. Um, he works for Ford. He's actually done big commercials for Ford for like the Super Bowls and stuff. So we're gonna have him on,
You.
and then hopefully we still get Kevin Mahar on, he's actually from Peck, but he's been in China for years. So that's going to be really cool. Looking
What
forward
a
to,
culture change. Yeah,
yeah,
that's gonna be cool.
looking forward to discussing the cultural differences, and he's going to have a lot to bring to the table there. Um,
Right.
So then after the 29th, that was the 22nd, and that day will be, I'll let everyone know, but we'll have to go on at 10 a.m. live because with his schedule, obviously they're 13 hours ahead on this flat earth, Franny. And so we'll be 10 a.m., he'll be 11 p.m. And the 29th, we're going to have Franny's nephew on, Josh, nephews, their band Skitchfall. Josh is the singer, I believe. Um, And so the fifth, we had another guest. Not sure if she's going to join us yet, right? Heather Hart.
Yes,
Not
yes.
sure if she's going to join us yet.
I'm thinking that it's probably going to be a thing, but still waiting to
Okay.
hear officially because she said that she requested it off anyway because she wants to spend that day just with family and stuff. So But
Right on.
yeah,
So
she definitely is wanting to. So
if not then, so hopefully the 5th, this Heather Hart will join us, and she's in California. We're just going to talk about, well,
California.
it'll be Easter, so obviously we'll talk a little bit about Easter. We'll talk about she works
Absolutely.
at a casino and
Yes.
wherever she's from in California, which we'll catch up on then. And the 12th, at this point, it looks like we're going to have our rock star, Mrs. Becky Philby,
Yes.
the 12th to discuss more travel and the supernatural. And
Ooh.
it's excellent, man. So Becky and I are talking in the background here and hopefully going to line up some more cool videos. Um, and then, well, we'll have some stuff for you guys. So anyways, we look forward to that again. And we will let you go for now. And we will see you next week with, like I said, Mr. Joshua Baker to discuss the positive message of Yeshua. So
Absolutely.
we will see you all then. Peace from Grovetown, Georgia.
Peace from Peck, Michigan.